Francis Bacon was born on January 22, 1561, into a new aristocratic family in London. He was the first Viscount St. Alban, an English Renaissance essayist and philosopher, British materialist philosopher, founder of experimental science, and founder of modern induction. He was also a pioneer in the logical organization of scientific research procedures. In 1573, Bacon, who was only 12 years old, was sent to Trinity College, Cambridge University, for further studies. His studies at university made him doubt traditional concepts and beliefs. I began to think about the true meaning of society and life alone. 3 years later, Bacon lived in Paris, France, as an attaché of the British ambassador to France. In just 2.5 years, he traveled almost all over France, which exposed him to many new things. It absorbed many new ideas and had a great impact on the transformation of its worldview. Later, he served as the Queen's special legal advisor, chief prosecutor of the court and chancellor of the Lord Keeper of the Seal. In his later years, he was expelled from the palace due to a palace conspiracy, quit political life, and devoted himself to academic research and writing. He wrote a number of works that had a significant impact on the history of modern literary thought, the most important of which was the great new tool of Renaissance. In addition, he thought about a wide range of life issues with the eyes of a philosopher, and wrote many short essays with lively style, which are collected into Bacon's Essays. At the end of March 1626, Bacon, due to his weak health, caught a cold during the experiment, and his bronchitis relapsed and his condition worsened. He died of illness in the early morning of April 9, 1626. His wise sayings have had a profound influence on later generations. He advocated the scientific method, emphasized the power of knowledge, and warned people not to be misled by appearances, but to see into the essence. His famous sayings embody wisdom, enlighten our thinking, lead us to pursue truth and beauty, and illuminate the way forward. Nature is like a seed. It can grow into a fragrant flower or a poisonous weed. One should always check to cultivate the former and uproot the latter. People who show off are despised by wise men, envied by fools, and flattered by sycophants. At the same time, they are also slaves to the words they boast about. People should not learn from bees and sacrifice their lives for a single angry sting. Discouragement begets disappointment, disappointment begets faltering, and faltering begets failure. Only when you can withstand all kinds of temptations and troubles can you achieve the most perfect spiritual health. Reasonable arrangement of time is equivalent to saving time. Books are ships crossing the sea of time. Melons are the sweetest when grown in nutritious fertilizers, and geniuses are the sweetest when grown in malignant soil. If you value etiquette higher than the moon, you will lose the sincere trust between people. You must know that exaggerating praise for good things will also arouse people's resentment, contempt, and jealousy. Habits formed by wisdom can become second nature. Knowledge is a kind of happiness, and curiosity is the seed of knowledge. The greatest trust between people is to meet each other sincerely. The virtue of prosperity is temperance. The virtue of adversity is fortitude, and the latter is the greater virtue. Reading is not for eloquence and refutation, nor for credulity and blind obedience, but for thinking and weighing. A truly speedy person is not one who simply does things quickly, but one who does them successfully and effectively. Look deeply into your own heart and realize that all the miracles are within you. Having no ideals and being indecisive is a sad mentality. A wise man creates more opportunities than he discovers. Reading makes up for the deficiencies of nature, and experience makes up for the deficiencies of reading. It is hypocrisy to use knowledge too much for decoration. It is a scholar's eccentricity to judge things entirely based on the rules of knowledge. Good luck is enviable, but overcoming bad luck is even more amazing. The success of people with disabilities is generally less likely to inspire envy. Because they have flaws, people are willing to tolerate their successes. It also often causes potential rivals to ignore their competition and challenges. In all major undertakings, people should observe the opportunity like 1,000 eyes before starting to do something, and seize the opportunity like 1,000-hand God while doing it. The happiest thing is to be free and unrestrained. Being good at choosing key points means saving time, while being busy without knowing the key points is just like firing blank shots. Knowledge itself does not tell people how to use it. The method of application is outside the book. Talent is like natural flowers and trees. It needs to be pruned by learning. Who can be more miserable than such a person who, although still alive, has personally participated in the funeral of his own reputation? Fear is the most formidable enemy that crushes the human personality. There are many beauties in the world who had a dissolute youth, but faced a regretful old age. If friendship can adjust people's emotions, then another function of friendship is to enhance people's wisdom. Our language may be straightforward, but it must not be rough and arrogant. Sometimes we should say a few tactful words, but we must avoid hypocrisy, frivolity, and slickness. In the imagination of the rich, wealth is a strong fortress. The most unbearable loneliness is the lack of true friendship. People with high moral character will be less likely to be envied by others as their virtue increases. Human wisdom is like an uneven mirror. It mixes its own nature with the nature of things, so the things it reflects are distorted and deformed. Discussion is like a sharpening stone, and thought is like a sharp edge. The sharpening of the two will make the thought sharper. Etiquette requires natural behavior to appear noble. If the appearance is too artificial, it will lose its due value. If you think twice before speaking, your words will be twice as good as before. Luck usually favors the thoughtful. Danger must be foreseen when planning a major event, but danger must be ignored in execution, unless the danger is devastating. Good luck in favorable circumstances is what people hope for. Good luck in unfavorable circumstances is what people are surprised to see. Money is the baggage of virtue and a major obstacle to virtue. Because wealth is to virtue as the army is to baggage. It is essential, but it hinders progress. And sometimes even the victory is lost because of taking care of it. One of the greatest dangers in getting things done is being too hasty. Collective habits are more powerful than individual habits. Therefore, if there is a social environment with good moral atmosphere, it is most conducive to training good social citizens. There is no sin more shameful than hypocrisy and treachery. Doing things at the right time will save time. Doing things against the grain will often be in vain. Once you break an oath, no other oath can be trusted. Disasters often hide in hidden places and occur when people are careless. Habits formed by wisdom become second nature. We cannot hide hypocrisy in our lives. Otherwise, traces of decay will be left on every line. The reason why people would rather believe falsehoods than love the truth is not only that it is difficult to explore the truth, but also that falsehoods cater to some bad human natures. Unvirtuous people are often jealous of the virtues of others. Anyone who attributes his good fortune too much to his intelligence and resourcefulness will most likely end up in a very unfortunate situation. A person who is only beautiful but lacks self-cultivation is not worthy of praise. True agility is a valuable thing, because time is the standard for measuring career, just like money is the standard for measuring goods. Money is a good servant, but it can also become a bad master in certain situations. Destiny is like the market. If you stay there for a long time, the price will probably fall. Proverbs can reflect the creativity, wisdom, and spirit of a nation. People think that their reason controls words, but sometimes words control reason. The person who has no regrets about burning down a house in order to boil an egg for himself is an extreme egoist. Money is like fertilizer. It is of no use unless it is spread into the fields. It is easier to discover truth from error than from confusion. Honor is like a river. Frivolous and empty honors float on the surface of the river, while heavy and solid honors sink at the bottom of the river. It is because of the sense of justice that people become humans instead of wolves. There is nothing more to be feared than fear itself. Where there is justice, there is holy ground. Anyone who loses his patience loses his soul. Truth is a product of time, not of authority. I think the definition of good is what is beneficial to humanity. Angels broke the law and fell because they wanted to have equal power with God. Humans broke the law and fell because they wanted knowledge and were equal to God. As long as you think about how many things in life a person cannot do alone, you can know how many benefits friendship can have. The evaluation of a person should not be based on his wealth and background, let alone his level of knowledge, but on his true character. A healthy body is the living room of the soul, and a weak body is the prison of the soul. Man is the center of all things and the axis of the world. Don't worry too much about small money. Money is a thing with wings. Sometimes it will fly away on its own, and sometimes it must be let go in order to bring back more. People who don't get friendship will be miserable, lonely people for life. A society without friendship is just a prosperous desert. The pursuit of too much power will cause angels to fall, and the pursuit of too much knowledge will cause people to stumble. Words that are rich in content are like sparkling pearls, but the truly wise are those who speak briefly. Men seem to be omnipotent, but in fact they are dominated and controlled by the great love behind them. No matter how angry you are, don't do anything irreversible. The majesty of man is contained in knowledge. Therefore, man has many inner things that the king's gold and silver cannot buy, and the king's force cannot conquer. The past cannot be undone. A wise man is always concerned about the present and the future, and will not dwell on the past. Even God can hardly remain wise in love. Suspicion is the poison of friendship. Cunning is an insidious and evil intelligence. If you ask what is the most important talent in life, the answer is, first, fearlessness, second, fearlessness, and third, still fearlessness.